Since the Yankee come to Trinidad, they got all the young girls going mad. Young girls say they treat 'em nice, make Trinidad like paradise. Drink 'em rum and Coca-Cola, go down Point Cumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar.
Hi, guy. Oh, the music's still going on. What's going on here?
No, it's not. Mine stopped.
Oh, maybe it kept going on mine. All right. Well, hey, there you go. It's it seems like I'm delayed by a sec.
No, do you have the thing on in the background? The YouTube?
I have stupid YouTube on. Oh
Yeah,
my
that's what I thought.
Here we go.
I've
Week
done
one
it.
already.
I've done it.
Already struggling here. Still going on. Okay. Let's just take off all that stuff. All right. Week one. Rants from Rouges. Mike, aka Pieguy, CFL Stats Geek here to discuss week one, kickoff weekend, CFL bets. We're going to take a look at each of the 4 games. We're going to discuss some of the betting options there, maybe some of the props that you might want to look into. And we're just going to give you sort of a lowdown. Exciting week. TSN's been pumping up the CFL media channels, sharing a lot of stuff. We've been getting a lot of quotes from coaches and such. Players getting ready. Week one rosters filled out. Pieguy, what are you feeling? You excited for the kickoff?
Oh yeah. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Riders, Red Blacks. A lot of people, listening to the CFL spaces. A lot of people think this could be the Grey Cup preview. I'm not so sure about that. But I one of these teams being here, I wouldn't be shocked. Both of them, I think it's a little that's a little tougher. But I think one could make the Grey Cup for sure. Normally, the show is a little later, but we have a big game in Edmonton tonight in another sport. So we're joining you at 6 p.m. today. And normally we drink rum on the cast. But since the CFL has a new Friday Night Football sponsor, I've decided to pull out the Bud Light.
Oh, you're bringing up the Bud.
Also, it's like 30 degrees in Southern Ontario. So rum at 6 p.m. If it was 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. If it was 10, maybe a little different with the liquor.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's exciting. Well, you just pumped up tomorrow's game, Ottawa versus Saskatchewan. First time these two are meeting game one in the schedule.
Yep.
So the first time they're both kicking off the pieces there. Just gonna jump right into some of the lines. You mentioned off the back that this could be a Grey Cup preview. I am in full belief of that being the fact. I do have Ottawa as my go-to Grey Cup run this year. We'll see how they do. Game one. What I can tell you right now is I do not expect this game to end in a draw. I think both these coaches are red-faced from last time they met. Last time either one could have won the game. They both ended up with a point away for each. Kind of ruined Ottawa's chances in the playoffs last year because of it. I don't think these guys are going to play for a tie. These guys are going to come out real hard for each other. We got a couple of cool game notes for this game. Obviously, you have the debut of Eugene Lewis with Ottawa. So it's his season debut. And he's on an 8-game consecutive TD streak. We got young guns in Pimpleton coming hard into the league, sort of averaging quite a nice amount of yardage over the last few games that he played. Will he continue to run that? It's a pretty stacked receiver field there now in Ottawa. Decent special teams as well. And then you got Saskatchewan, who's one of the more experienced sides in the CFL. They come with a lot of experience. They now have a full year under Corey Mace. Let's see what kind of new evolutions they have. The line here is priced at 3.5, the spread. What do you think, Pieguy? You think it's a fair number? Oh, you're muted. You got the mute on, buddy. How do I unmute this man? There you go. I can force the unmute. No, I can't. You are muted.
Oh, I'm muted. Okay. I was gonna say we'll start with Bob Dice here. Sorry about that. Just like I can mute myself, I think he can have another tie. I don't trust him. I don't think he's learned his lesson from last year at all. I could see. I mean, it worked for him last year, but they have a tougher schedule this year. I think you have to play to win if you're going to win in the playoffs for sure. Like you have to start in the regular season. And kicking a field goal is like, unless it's the tie wins you the or advances you into the playoffs or wins you the East or something like that. There's no need. Go for the win. You know what I mean? But I don't trust him. The Bob Dice quote from this week was, "We're going to be a physical team," which means nothing. Okay, that's a nothing quote. It's not anything that inspired me at all. You mentioned Geno Lewis. The special teams should be good. Geno Lewis, is a good player. I don't know, wide receiver. Older wide receivers can be divas, but Adarius Pickett will play. Bob Dice announced that he will make his return in Saskatchewan tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Sorry,
I say he's back. He's back.
Yeah, he's back. He will be on the field. The focus of this game, from what I've been reading, is William Stanback. I think Ottawa's going to want to run the football in this game. And that's going to be hard. Saskatchewan's the number one run defense in the league last year. Corey Mace knows how to stop the run. The big news on both sides, the offensive lines, both of them, injuries. Zach Pelejos is out 6 to 8 weeks with a foot injury. Right tackle for the Red Blacks. Darta Lee is expected to be his replacement. Never heard of this guy, but depth on Ottawa coming in, and then the one that announced yesterday, Peter Godber is out. He is the center for the Red Blacks. They'll be without their starting center and their starting right tackle against the top defensive line in the CFL, or was last year. I think it still is this year. You could argue Serezna. Edmonton isn't good enough, even with Serezna, to challenge for that. So, but it was pretty good. And then Saskatchewan has offensive line injuries too. Philippe Gagnon is out. He has a torn bicep, so he'll be out for a while. And then we have Brammer is expected to play, another offensive lineman for the Rough Riders. But McEwen is out. He had ACL surgery, so I don't know if he's out for the season. Yeah, or he's out at least till playoffs. Yeah, so. Sean Bain, junior wide receiver. I don't know if he's playing. He was questionable last I looked. I don't think he's playing from what I was reading, but sometimes it's hard with the CFL to figure out things. They don't give as much away. The big thing for Saskatchewan are for both teams actually is as we mentioned, Grey Cup potential preview. There's high expectations on both sides in this game, and all 9, you don't see this too much, all 9 of the West Division, all CFLers that were on Saskatchewan last year are still on the team. I don't know if they're all playing, and of course, Trevor Harris is healthy. That's the key to Saskatchewan's success. They need Harris to stay healthy. He's an older quarterback, at least throughout the playoffs. If he misses a game here or there, against Calgary or Hamilton or some of the lower teams, but I see offensive line injuries on both sides. I see teams trying to be physical, which means they're going to make dumb run plays when they shouldn't. This to me looks like under 49.5 is what I bet already. Week 1 defense is usually ahead of offenses. We have offensive line injuries, and we had Bob Dice's quote. All 3 pointed to under for me. And again, going against what you said, I don't think Ottawa's going to play to win. They're going to play not to lose. In terms of the spread, it's too many points. It's Ottawa or nothing. I'm not taking Saskatchewan minus 3.5 against a team that's everyone's picking to win the Grey Cup. They're picking both teams, but it's like you see in the hockey game tonight. It's a pick 'em. That's what this should probably be Saskatchewan minus 2. But like I don't want to bet against Saskatchewan at home, especially when the other team has offensive line injuries. So yeah, it's under for me. No play on the side.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with the under. This does look like a nothing burger to start off the season. No, both teams are going to take some time to ramp up. Both are going to take some time to grow. They're not going to want to make mistakes, as you mentioned. So, in terms of playing the ball, I mean, both teams can indeed toss the ball, can catch, can run. But we're going to see a very slow paced game to start Thursday and start week 1.
I don't know if it's going to be slow paced. I think it'll still be fun to, but like
It won't be.
what I'm reading out of Ottawa, they want to run the ball. This is not the team to run the ball against. You know, I mean, okay, you have to keep them honest, but now you have offensive line injuries, and that's another reason why maybe they aren't going to be running the ball. But maybe they come out throwing. I don't know. Like it's not exactly like they're telling us they're going to run the ball, but they're telling us without telling us.
Yeah.
Also,
you could see it.
Interesting notes for this game. In terms of props, it's Lewis Ward's 100th game. So again, maybe we see more field goals. So which would lead to the under. I don't know if you can find kicking props for the CFL, but if you can, I don't mind some overs with 6.5.
There's got to be a book out there.
Yeah, if there's a book out there that wants to give me a Lewis Ward prop, I'll probably throw a little shekel on that.
Please bring some special teams props into this these sporting book worlds for the CFL. We gotta, the dream is to bet on a Rouge one day. Will it happen? Who knows? Maybe down the line. But yeah. I
mean, come on. I mean, you could choose like people are going to bet the yes. You know, what I mean, like
yeah, exactly.
You could give him a bad number. That is like you could give him, take some juice. No one else is offering it.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe Sports Interaction.
Take 30 cents of juice, whatever. Who cares? Just put it out there.
Yeah. Overall, the lines, if you are looking at betting this game throughout different sport books, I got 5 illustrated here. Obviously, Sports Interactions offering the best money line for Ottawa. You can get a better money line for Saskatchewan on FanDuel. Over-unders are pretty much the same price across the board, and then your plus minus your spread hasn't really changed across the board. So there's no real win there. But bet with whatever book you're most comfortable with. But if you are betting Ottawa money line, you get a couple more cents with Sport Interaction.
Yeah, Sports Interaction has good numbers, and not just because we're sponsored, but like I bet on them for the Argos money line in the Grey Cup last year. Yeah. I bet 3 bets today on Sports Interaction. So
they definitely offer a good balance.
The other interesting tidbit was Eugene Lewis is on an 8-game touchdown streak. So maybe it's a different team, but I don't hate it.
It's 8 consecutive touchdowns. The record in the CFL is 10 straight. So I could see them.
Yeah.
I could see them trying to feed him. It gives him the story. He's got a little bit of an edge from the offseason drama with superstar and non-superstar kind of conundrum. So I could see him stepping up a bit, or definitely asking for the pass. So you talked about the Eugene Lewis one. One of the props that I was looking at was the Pimpleton yards, because I do think while people will be distracted by Lewis, there'll be a little birdie on the other side who's just going to be that much more available nowadays. I
think Hardy's on the other side and Pimpleton's going to be in the middle. But
he's going to be in the middle, yeah. But I'm talking about overall in terms of just the two. I think Pimpleton actually has the most yards to cover in terms of betting lines. I think it's at 69.5 last I saw. I think FanDuel is your best bet when it comes to props. I think they have the most detail out of all the books. So if you are looking at props in the CFL, FanDuel's got some more. Sports Interaction right now is still, for the most part, game lines. Might change. We'll see. But if you are looking at props, there's definitely some on FanDuel, and I believe Bet365 as well. So definitely take a look there. All right, you want to jump to the next game?
Yep, that was it for that one. Just the under for me, and maybe I if it was against a bad team, I definitely play Lewis touchdown. But
Yeah,
best
I would say
CFL.
if you're into the props, take him. I think it's a good bet. But for this show, I think we're just sticking with the under right now. It's week 1. Let's start slow. We don't need to bang the books right off the back.
Well, my record
maybe
week 1 is
down.
pretty good in both leagues. My NFL week 1, if I had NFL only week 1s, I'd be up. But
you do have
can't be a week 1 every week
with those kickoffs. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Can't be. Here's another example of a week 1 game where I think the spread set here right now at 4.5 across the board, all the books. Obviously, this spread comes down to Nick Arbuckle still being the starting quarterback. If Kelly was at the helm, the number might be different. It's the home opener in Montreal. They don't got air horns anymore. Both teams are fairly young and don't have as much experience as other teams in the CFL, but they do have recency bias in the sense that both teams are your most recent champions in the CFL. Montreal last year was the best team in the CFL. They probably still might be the best team. Well, I mean, questions still out there on their QB. It seems like everyone's believing in Davis. Everyone's on the board with Davis. I'm a little bit skeptical, but it seems like everyone likes him. So maybe he can do it. Maybe he's going to surprise me. We'll see. But tell me something here. The money line. Do you think it's just a little too high?
Yeah, it's way too high. This is the
massive high.
This is the first game that stood out to me. I mean, sometimes that's a bad thing, but I mean, when you understand why it stands out, when you see, obviously Chad Kelly. I don't know if he's ruled out, but he's not playing. I would be shocked to see Chad Kelly out there in Montreal on Friday.
No, he's not. No, they already confirmed it's Arbuckle.
Oh, he's out. Okay, so Arbuckle's starting. Exactly. I knew that a week ago. 2 weeks ago.
Kelly's in the practice squad. He's not even seeing the field.
Okay. So yeah, so no Kelly will be Arbuckle, and I think probably Horn will be the backup.
Yeah, Horn will be in the back.
So the Argos coming off the great
Doge.
Sorry,
former Elk. It's Joe.
Doge.
Doge. Former Elk. He had a great preseason. Did you not see the last couple of quarters against Hamilton? He absolutely destroyed him. Yeah, I think he's running number 2, and then Horn is going to
fourth stringers. He destroyed. Dogie, maybe he's turned to corny. Last time I saw him, he wasn't any good.
He wasn't. No.
So yeah, it's not like you're going from Chad Kelly to Dogie. You know what I mean? This is the Grey Cup MVP. He just won the Grey Cup. He was great against Winnipeg. I know Montreal's defense is especially the back end, the linebackers and the corners. But I can mention the preview show, the defensive line I'm not sold on. And injuries on the defensive line of Montreal. 4 guys were on the injury report. 4 defensive linemen on the injury report. And we know Toronto, the last 2-3 years, had the best offensive line of the CFL. The offensive line looked great. The starters were in against Hamilton in the first game. They looked back up to their old tricks. Dinwiddie, for all the criticism we've given him, the offensive line has been great since he's been there.
Yep.
And getting rid of Carey, that's a big statement. McMahon is supposed to be RB1 here. The one news for the Argos, Jerry Grant has an ankle injury, so that's not good. He's been pretty good against these games against Montreal.
Yeah, I think he's actually been ruled out. He's been ruled out.
Okay, so he's out with an ankle injury.
McManus
and Brian. Sorry, who?
Yeah. McManus is in.
Oh, McManus. Okay.
Yeah, he was potentially.
Oh, okay. I thought he was always playing. I thought it was just precautionary. But Brian Cox Jr. Is done for the season with a foot injury. So that's one of the D linemen on the Argos. So that's unfortunate for them. Now, Montreal, the reason this line is 4.5, first is off, there's no Chad Kelly. Second of all, this is playoff revenge. Obviously, Montreal had a great season last year, lost in the East Final to this same Argos team. Of course, it was Chad Kelly. Then Chad Kelly got hurt at the end of the game. but they cut Walter Fletcher, and it's going to be so the Argos cutting team here. I thought was fine. I think okay, you have McMahon, you have who's the other? Brown got cut too, though, right?
Yeah, Brown got cut as well. Yeah.
Okay, so you have McMahon there. They find running backs and they just seem to work. I mean, it's the running backs don't matter thing. Dinwiddie clearly believes in it because he used to have a guy Abadoye was like the 4th string running back. He was running roughshod over the other teams in the couple of seasons ago. So I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, he's got 2 guys, pretty much. 2 quick guys. Mayan Williams, he's got the bigger guy for the short yards. He's got the skinnier guy for the long yards. It's going to be a working committee at running back, but they're there. But Montreal, tell me, there's nobody there at that running back position. They got rid of
so they have Scotty. Oh, this is his name. Stevie Scott the third. See, this is their new number 1. I never heard of this guy. Now again,
not the third
running back injury. I'm not cut. I'm sorry. What did you say, Jason?
I would say there's some Alouette buddies of mine that are all hail Scotty the third.
Scott the third. Yeah. Now the other guy, the rookie, he's more interesting to me. Travis Tice. He looked good in the preseason, so I think But I don't understand why he couldn't have sat behind Fletcher instead of Scott. But I mean, maybe they like the Scott the third guy. Again, I'm not too concerned about a running back.
He's 6'2", 230. I mean, he's a big guy, right? 6'2", 230. He's gonna.
Yeah, well, when he fumbles in the third quarter or something, and they're gonna wish they had Walter Fletcher. I kind of feel like
they're gonna sign
like that. That's like, well, he's just inexperienced, right? I mean, like, I don't know who this guy is. And now he's your RB1. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I know running backs don't matter too much, but like, I don't know if you cutting Walter Fletcher was the answer. Like, if you cut him week 3 after he looked awful, maybe. But I mean, like, but I guess the Argos got Carey, but like they kind of had depth at that position. They had people to cut. Yeah. Anyways, but the big thing, running backs, again, not a big deal, but the big thing is the D lineman from Montreal. Who's going to play? Mustafa Johnson's on the injury report. Trevon Mason's on the injury report. Josh Archibald's on the injury report. That's a concern. This line's too big. I bet the Argos. It's too many points. I mean, it's a Grey Cup champs. Their first game back. Okay, they don't have Kelly, but their offensive line is going to be intact. Their run game is going to be fine. Montreal's weakness is on the defensive line, on defense. That plays right into the Argos' hands. They're going to run the football and run it a lot, and Nick Arbuckle's going to dink and dunk his way down the field. And if Montreal starts to get aggressive, Nick Arbuckle's going to take a shot. You know what I mean? Like he'll throw the ball. He sat under both for years in Calgary. So 4.5 is too many points in my opinion. Yeah, it's playoff revenge, but this should be 3, maybe 2.5. Like again, this is inflated.
I thought this was going to open at 2, open at 4. It stayed at 4. It might get bet down a bit. We'll see over the next day and a half. But right now, you have the 4.5 just laying there across all the sport books. Right now, I think FanDuel has the best bet. Right, it's almost minus 106, I believe. So you got FanDuel.
Yeah, I think that's where I bet it a few minutes ago. Another big thing is that last year Toronto started the season without Chad Kelly, and they were 5.5-point underdogs to BC, and they won the game outright. Now that game was at home. Yeah, that game was at home. Yes, but I mean, week 1 home field. Unless we'll talk. There's one game where I think it really matters. We'll talk about that in a bit. But here, I know it's the home opener, but it's you're coming off the Grey Cup. Like this, that kind of neutralizes some of it. I feel like you this is your you prove Nick Arbuckle's chance to prove that wasn't a fluke, and your chance to make a statement that that was only one Grey Cup and we're coming back again. So that's why. And I also, because they won last year, the same thing. I also played plus 180 on the money line. So I have 2/3 of a unit on spread, and then the last third on the money line for that extra, little boost. Because I think I think Toronto can win this game. This line is just wrong. If this was Montreal 2, like you said, maybe it's a pass. But at 4.5, it's definitely an Argos play.
Yeah, how can you not bet the Grey Cup champs? Like I've taken a look at all the experts, be it 3 Down, be it TSN. They all have the Argos pretty much at the top of their power rankings until this team is playing meaningful games and meaningful minutes, which they should on Friday. Don't judge them. They're still the Grey Cup champs. They're well coached. I think they have Dinwiddie's the most winning percentage coach since Dave Dickinson's tenure, mid 2010s and such. He knows what he's doing. The Toronto Brass know what they're doing when they bring out all the young guns. Yes, they cut Carey. Yes, they got rid of Dukes. We talked about Dinwiddie not loving Dukes, and he was.
That's a good thing, though. Get him out of there. I mean,
we
didn't like. I don't know why he was still there.
And he was just there because he knew the playbook, man. It was periods.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. Now they got this Horn and Dogie.
Teach me how to Dogie. Anyways, these are the numbers here across the board. Again, money line, your best bets on FanDuel. It's a little lower on some other books. If you like Montreal, you can go with some of the other books. And then again, the spread is also best. I think Toronto and FanDuel are going to be sort of hand in hand this year when it comes to sport books. So if you are an Argonauts fan, I think the FanDuel book is your go-to for the most part. I think they even might have a partnership with MLSC. Don't quote me. Might happen. I don't know. Anyways, I like that. I like your bets too. They are the same ones I have here. I did go full unit on the Toronto money line. I'm again maybe a bit biased. I'm an Argos fan after all. But I look at this line here, and I do think Montreal has more to prove, and will be a little bit more on the let's make sure we don't try to lose this game and play a bit more safe, whilst Toronto is just going to be like, hey, let's play our game. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't necessarily have an opinion on the over-under. I think 47.5 is pretty much what I have it at.
Yeah, I was leaning under till I saw the number. It's too low. The books know. Credit to the books. These lines are sharper than they have been the last few seasons. Right. These lines are sharp. I mean, okay, I think that the spread is way up, but with the spread, it's like they give Toronto your power ranks as your number one team, right? And then everybody in the mother is picking Montreal to win this game. I don't understand that. I get it's playoff revenge, but one thing we didn't talk about is that it's Davis Alexander's first start as the guy. You know what I mean? So who knows? He could have a tough. Maybe the Argos, take a couple of early penalties to rough him up a little bit. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, Toronto. No one expects Toronto to win this game. Toronto loses this game, they're still going to be the Grey Cup favorites, probably. Unless they get killed, right? So, I wouldn't be shocked if they come out here and hey, Davis this isn't easy. You're. This looks like a Toronto spot to me. Yeah, it's the CFL exactly. They're gonna hit him. I think they're gonna hit him. And I spoke in the the season preview show that Montreal's offensive line ain't anything to write home about. So
no. The Argos and your fallback plan is Bethel Thompson, Mr. Pick Thompson.
Oh yeah, no, please, please.
If he sees the field double down.
No, but here's the thing that doesn't make sense. So he's still on the team. You got Fletcher, he's still on the team, but Caleb Evans looked amazing in the preseason. I would rather had. I know he had his debacle last year, but the guy looked better pre. I don't want Bethel Thompson's cancer. Anyways, until proven otherwise,
we know your opinion on the guy.
Yeah,
it's definitely been talked about. Let's jump ahead. We're gonna go west now. We're gonna jump over to your favorite team, and we're gonna talk about the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And they open the season once again against the Calgary Stampeders, once again in Calgary. We know what happened last year.
I don't know why this happens. It feels like every year we're in Calgary or Saskatchewan week one. It's like, come on.
They just love sending you west. I don't know. Maybe they just figure you guys will be
Yeah,
ready
they
for
send like
June.
Edmonton or BC or because like Calgary and Saskatchewan, the two teams who have like the best home records in the last little while.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna put on a different hat because I think I have
Oh boy.
a premonition as to who I like in this game. Listen, we talked
Oh.
about it last week. On our futures bet. We said this Stampeders team looks like a 4 to 5 win team. One of those wins is this home opening game. All right, against the Ticats. Not only because they've done it already last year when they kind of had. I know the whole Calgary team has kind of changed 180. It's a completely different team. Doesn't have any way of stopping the ball. Hamilton's in kind of a similar situation, but this is Vernon Adams' homecoming. It's his homecoming. He's going to play really hard. Bo is kind of, a little overconfident. I think he's going to roll into this game. He's already done it before. He knows the stadium well. He didn't beat them last time he was in Calgary. Will it be different this time? I don't know. Personally, I see this game positively on the Stamp side of things. I think they're going to want to really out the gate just show, hey, we ain't the bullies. We ain't the bottom of the barrel. We're better than that kind of attitude. I think they're going to really try. Dave doesn't really show me any confidence, to be honest, but
do you know what he said this week?
What do you say? Tell me.
Oh, I'll let you finish.
I'll
let you finish. I'll let you finish. Go ahead. We'll hear the pro Calgary argument.
Well, I'm just gonna say, look, we got VA. He's healthy. As long as he doesn't get taken out this game, I could see him playing really.
Oh, if VA gets hurt, your bet's down the toilet. Flush.
My bet's down the toilet. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm running to the cash out button as fast as I can, if possible. But I mean, this team, look. I know Malik Henry, who's got a lot of heart for this team.
He's not back.
He's like, he might only come back after Labor Day, is what they're saying today. So he might be gone for a long time. I think people were expecting him to be, a bit healthier, a bit sooner. Doesn't seem like that's the case. They cut a couple of vets that used to play receiver in Eccles. Before the weekend, so they cut him. So they're really capturing the hearts of the youth movement here. One of the younger teams, one of the least experienced teams. They have a very smart quarterback, a very vet-based quarterback, one that's played in this league for a long time, one that's done well in this league for a long time. They have one of the more experienced receivers in Bagleton to be able to, mine and mentor a lot of these younger folks. And Alfred, it seems like he's going to get the start, the number 1 pick in the CFL draft. We'll see what he has to offer. But I think everything just points towards the Stamps having a great start to at least this game. And the reason why I want them to win is so that they can have a nicer number against their opponents in week 2, so I can start betting against them. So I'm trying to throw them some good juju so I get a better number in week 2.
Did you bet it? Did you bet Stamps?
I have the Stamps money line, yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, so there is a path to victory. Just a quick update. I didn't check the injury report when I sat down today. Last night, all my notes are from last night, but all those D linemen from Montreal are out. So all 4 of them. So for the last game. So Johnson and there are a bunch. And in this one, Hamilton has 4 defensive backs on the injury report, including Reggie Stubblefield, their big offseason acquisition from Montreal. So there is a path to victory, and Hamilton plays awful at McMahon. They played off. I think they have 1 win in like the last 10 trips or something stupid like that. And I think it was like 2 years ago, but so it is a recent one, but the offense is expected to be the strength of this team anyway. So, a couple of defensive backs are out. I think they're going to try to outscore their problems. And I think they will because, Hamilton's secondary is a little beat up here. They might play some kids. The kids looked okay, I thought, in the preseason.
They look really great.
Yeah. Calgary was 2-0 in the preseason. Doesn't matter. fool's gold.
It doesn't.
They cut Logan Bonner, who had 2 touchdowns against Edmonton. I didn't like that.
I didn't like
I
it
thought
either.
that was but why wouldn't you keep him to as the running quarterback? I thought he knows the playbook. You know what I mean? Like, what do you have to lose? Now here was what Dave Dickinson said today about his secondary. He was going to go up against Bo Levi Mitchell, Kenny Lawler, and the Ticats offense, which is pretty good.
I'm going to take it off. You're going to make me take it off.
Dave Dickinson said his secondary was, quote, a work in progress. He said this was June 2nd. This was 2 days ago. He said, I don't know who the starters are, but our free agents haven't disappointed at all. This guy has no faith in his secondary, okay? They're going to get torched. That's what this time. As much as I criticize Dave Dickinson for being the GM coach combo, he knows football. And when he's telling me that the secondary is a work in progress, and I haven't really decided who's starting. I mean, maybe he's playing mind games. I don't think he's playing against Hamilton. He's not playing mind. Maybe Bo. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. That when I read that, I'm like, I guess I got to bet Hamilton in the over. And I know
their names. He doesn't know the names of his players.
Well, okay. Logan Webb had some, or is it Logan Webb or Davis Webb? Maybe Logan Webb's a pitcher. Davis Webb. Apparently, him and Moncrief are now the vets on the team because the other 2 guys got shipped out. They said, we're confident. Yeah, Webb, I don't trust. He's an interception. He gets a few picks, but he also gets cooked. And then Moncrief, he's all right. One of their big cuts was Cam Echols. Calgary in one place they're pretty good as wide receiver, so that's not too bad. They're fine. But yeah, the secondary is going to get cooked. Okay, Bo knows how to play here. The Ticats offense is completely healthy. Okay, the secondary is a little banged up, so I bet Hamilton money line minus 115 Sports Interaction, and I bet the over 52.5, and I think it's going up. So with Hamilton's secondary being hurt. If you want the over, bet it soon. I don't think this could be 54 by kickoff. Because I think I think Calgary can score, and I think Hamilton can score. I mean, the injuries on one side, and the coach saying we don't know who's starting. It's a work in progress. Yeah, that means my secondary sucks, and we got some work to do. And Bo and the boys are coming to town to. Yeah, man, Calgary can still win like 40 to 35 or something. I wouldn't be shocked. But yeah, and I like Kenny Lawler props. Bo looked like he had good chemistry with him in the preseason games.
He's gonna like Lawler. Yeah, he's gonna try to find him.
And Lawler, I think I've seen Lawler cook this Calgary secondary for a while now. So when he was in Winnipeg,
with it too, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a completely new secondary. It's a very inexperienced secondary. So, yes, unless these guys are playing deep ball, it's going to be tough. And then Lawler is one of those best guys who can cut inside once he's run all the way down the field, run right back in. You're convincing me, man. I didn't like that Dave Dickinson quote. I can't believe you told me that. Why did I bet it? I should have talked to you first.
I write down the quotes are where the people miss. It's like, that's a big red flag. They don't know who's starting, and they haven't disappointed. What does that mean? Like, how low are your expectations? You know what I mean? Like that. It's oh boy, we're in for it. That's what that sounds like to me. Maybe he's going to try to blitz Bo, but when you blitz Bo, you get cooked. Like we've seen this. Or he throws a pick six. So maybe that's the plan. But yeah, over and Hamilton, both full unit plays. I think Hamilton's going to – I didn't bet the team total too. I didn't want to triple up, but like at worst, it feels like a split. Either Calgary just doesn't show up at all, or Hamilton's defense is so bad that Calgary pumps them a little bit too. Because in my opinion, Calgary's path to victory is you go score for score, because you pick Bo off a couple times. I guess
it's a weird team. It's a weird team where they obviously I had the over as well. I could see both teams dropping 30 easily.
Also, I don't think if Hamilton goes out and pumps these guys, we don't get minus 115 the rest of the season against Calgary on the money line. There's not
it's
one
over.
game on their schedule where we're going to get. I was like, I got to bet. If they show me something, okay.
Hey, we got a minus 105 on bet. Oh, sorry, you're talking about money line. Yeah, never mind.
Minus 115. Yeah, it's the best. Yeah, it's the best number.
That's your best go to.
There was a minus 110 yesterday, and I missed it, and I was pissed. And I said, okay, that's not too bad.
They just moved, yeah, and it's only you might see the Hamilton bettors come in to play come Friday night. Once they're starting to watch CFL football, and they're going to get excited too. So we could see that change. But you're totally right that this is already showing what we're going to see throughout the season. Calgary will be a dog the entire season. It all depends on how large.
They could be injuries to like say one team just gets injured where they're just like there's nobody left. But other than that, or like we saw last season, the last game of the season, Edmonton's not playing anybody.
Oh, true.
So, but other than that, yeah, I don't see a world where Calgary, unless Calgary's good, like unless maybe Dave Dickinson was playing possum here with these quotes, but
I doubt
that whole defense doesn't look good. The whole defense, outside of Ormalade, like
yeah, you're stuck. You're stuck there. What do you think the opening spread will be if the Argonauts win and they now get to host Stampeders in their home opener? Are we seeing this already? The first game that might be over 7.5?
Oh yeah, it's 10.
10. Cool. If Calgary gets
I don't know. If the Argos lose, I like the Argos even more. I'd lay 10.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. It depends how Calgary looks. If Hamilton pumps Calgary, I'd lay 10 with the Argos, especially if the Argos lose to Montreal. Oh yeah, they'll pump them too. Like if Hamilton pumps Calgary, the Argos are going to do the same thing. It's copycat league.
It's true. It is the copycat league.
and like Dave said, it's a work in progress. This isn't going to be next week. They're going to be ready against Toronto. You know what I mean?
How many games before Dave is out the door?
I don't know. I mean,
the whole season.
He might last the whole season. We'll see. If they can win, a game here and there, which they probably will. It's the CFL. Weird stuff happens. Punt returns, pick sixes.
Yeah.
They could, like I said, they could beat Hamilton. I mean, like this is one of the games I said, maybe Calgary wins because Hamilton's just been awful week 1 at McMahon. But like, it's just I'm looking at this. I'm like, they're gonna it looks like Hamilton's gonna score 40 here.
Yeah.
If their offense is and they got three quarters with the A's right at preseason game 1, so
yep,
that's a good sign going into week 1. It's the team you want to be back. Okay,
ready.
Calgary, they won both preseason games. But that's usually not a good sign. Usually, the team that win both preseason games, unless they're like a team with a history of winning a lot of preseason games, like that means they were trying, and now, it's a problem.
They were already showing their whole cards for sure.
Oh no, I thought they were showing their cards. It's just that they had battles for number 1 positions, like the secondary in Calgary, right? Like these were potential number 1s. Okay, they look good, but who are you playing against? Guys who are on the street right now looking for jobs.
Pretty much. Do you think these guys are in the market for a running back? I mean, right now, Dedrick Mills is their go-to.
Dedrick Mills is fine.
You think Carey finds his way back? No way. He hated Dickinson, right?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want. I would stay on the couch.
I'd rather play on the couch too. All right, let's jump to the last game of the weekend, the Saturday night game. It is the battle of the Canadian quarterbacks. Trey Ford named starter, Nathan Rourke named starter. Arguably the most exciting game on the card this weekend, just because of that Canadian battle. Passionate fan bases, Snoop Dogg on deck.
Snoop Dogg.
We're gonna have a pretty busy BC place. A lot of people planning to be there. Will they stick around after halftime? We don't know. There's a lot of people on the socials that are not truly backing Edmonton as much as they may have with the free agency spree that they did. Obviously the preseason led to a lot of questions. The team is still fairly new all around all the corners and such, including the coach, his first go at being a head coach. They're gonna try to play, I would say, a motivated BC Lions team who also has a newish coach in the sense that this new to them, but not new to the league. I guess Mark Killiam is also not new to the league, but never in a head coach role. Do you think the spread here is a little high? It's at 5.5. Personally, I think it's been priced a little high. I think this is going to be a great showdown between two teams. I think there's a better defensive team in Edmonton, at least in terms of Jake Ceresna and a couple of other folks. They just re-upped their rookie of the year, the CFL rookie of the year, Nick Anderson. So they just re-upped him as well. Money lines are all over the place across these books. There's one book that likes Edmonton a lot less. There's other books that are kind of at the 205 number, 48.5 across everything. What are your thoughts on this game here in BC?
Yeah, this is I haven't made a bet on this game. I was hoping we'd figure one out here, because I don't know if I should take the Elks. I'm not taking BC. No, there's only 5.5. That's ridiculous. But this is an example of the lines being better than they were last year. Okay.
Yes.
Because I was looking at this game, we're gonna be, Edmonton's the offseason Kings. We're gonna BC, maybe pick -3 and then 5.5.
Yeah.
So I can't bet it. I can't bet it. The books don't want BC money because they're worried, and I would be too. But the more I looked into it, the more it's 5.5 looks pretty good. It
doesn't look bad.
So the main thing here is that BC is lost David Foucault, who's a Canadian offensive lineman. Now they have a Canadian quarterback, so the ratio isn't too bad. But I heard they might have to either replace him with another Canadian lineman or move around the ratio, right? So it's a big loss for them, but they have 50,000 tickets sold. For the first half, anyways. There's going to be 50,000 people there for the majority of the first half, probably. I'm worried about the play call here. Rourke looked really good in the preseason. He was I think it was 8 for 8, 84 yards in the last preseason game. He looks like he's back. I don't know if this was the right coaching hire, though. I don't know if I like Buck. So I was looking into the preseason, and it was basically blown protections and bad run plays that stopped those drives where Rourke was cooking. And that sounds like same old BC. Bad offensive line play and running when you shouldn't. And Buck Pierce is number one. I don't know, Buck Pierce, it feels like didn't run enough with the Bombers, where you just give the ball to Oliver. It's not that hard, you know what I mean? And now he thinks you don't have Oliver. You have James Butler. You don't have Stanley Bryant. You have a couple of guys who, I think one of their this Broxton guy's got a non-football thing. I don't know if he's going to play.
Who knows?
Non-football related.
Limited. Who knows?
Yeah, and McInnes, Hatcher, and Eberhardt, who are 1, 2, 3 wide receivers, didn't play at all in the preseason. But Rourke played a ton. They didn't play at all. They didn't see the field. Yeah. I don't know what. I don't trust this organization. Sure, they're going to getting butts and seats. Okay, Nathan Rourke's a big name. You know what I mean? Okay, you have Justin McInnes. You have Matthew Betts. You have flashy name talent, but in the trenches, okay. On the D line, they're pretty good, but in the offensive line, you know what I mean? Wide receiver depth after McInnes and Hatcher. Eberhardt's okay. There's nobody else. Couture, I guess. But I don't think he's playing. Oh no, he is
I don't
playing.
see
Okay.
it. Yeah, I believe he's
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but he played in the preseason. That's probably why he wasn't on my notes. And again, we talked about this earlier. BC was 5.5-point road favorites at Toronto last year, lost outright. But on the other side, you have a team that there's a lot of distractions. We have this Eskimo elk name, conversation going on. We're no longer the Elks. We're the double E. I don't know. Like, come on,
Yeah, what are we?
it's distractions. You know what I mean? Trey Ford's finally the guy. You're finally making the. You Mark Killen. That's a good signing. And then you got this name thing hovering about. This should have been done in like you wanted to pull this whatever. I don't.
Do it in
Whatever with the name
February or
stuff.
something.
March, February. Do it then. Don't do it now. Like this is a big distraction,
Yeah.
I don't really want to bet on either of these teams. So one team's getting 5.5 and plus 200 on the money line, and that's the team with the better roster. So
yeah, I'm on board with that as well. I mean, me personally, I'm leaning Edmonton here to cover. I think this will be a tight game. I agree in that I don't think Nathan Rourke is the right QB for a Buck Pierce playbook. I may be wrong. Maybe Buck changes his style. Maybe
his
there was a
plays
lot
in
of talk
Winnipeg
about
got stale, I think.
receivers. They did. And if he's bringing those stale plays to, I just don't think they translate the same in BC. And Rourke likes to hold the ball. He likes to move the ball. He doesn't like to just dump it down the field. He doesn't have the same arm strength that Claros or Bo Levi Mitchell have. That's not the style they're playing with. McInnes isn't going to just be waiting for him at the end zone all the time. They're going to want to play a lot of post. They're going to want to play a lot of middle, down the middle. And he's going to have to count on his O-line to stop Edmonton's beasts like Jake Seresna from coming and killing him. Like, how are you going to stop this guy? Who's going to stop this guy right now? It's going to be a battle of the sacks, really, here. Seresna versus Betts, maybe. That's what we're going to see here.
Yeah, I don't hate an underlook. I'm worried about the Snoop Dogg effect a little bit with the, but that can make it for a slow start. What's the first half under? Let me see this here. Because we hit a lot of BC unders early in the season last time. Like, do we go back? Because two new head coaches, I could see a lot of running.
Yeah,
I want to bet Edmonton, but it just smells like it just smells like they're gonna elk up here. And Rourke's gonna pull some nonsense out of his hat, and they're gonna win by 6 or 7 or.
If we go to BC's home opener last year, it was 14-10 against Calgary at the half. So
yes, right on 24.
And they didn't score a single point in the first. I know, obviously that was VA, but I don't know if they.
Wait, sir, what was the score at halftime? 14-10?
14-10, yeah.
Yeah, so 24. Yeah.
I think Edmonton's just going to prove themselves a bit more. They might not win the game. But I don't think they're going to lose the game by more than 3.
I'm just trying to see what I got to pay for this first half, 24.5, because I don't want to. Let's see. Is
that what it's set at?
Well, there's some 24s out there. I'm going to see if I can find a 24.5. Well, what will it cost me? I'm on FanDuel here. First half total. It's 23. Yeah, I don't know. They know.
You're not getting it. They do know. See, that's what I'm saying. The book, you're bang on that this year the books are ready for CFL.
Yeah.
It could be that there's just more excitement around the league. There's a bit more media attention around the league. But the books seem to have come to play. And you kind of look at, I have 5 books here shown. I've picked the 5 that I think are some of the more popular ones. They're all reasonably the same. I've been checking all week to see if there's been any edges or anyone's been really betting or changing the stuff here. These lines were set back in on Sunday after the first cuts. Still are more or less the same. Maybe they change a bit. Is there anything here that would make you bet Edmonton, BC? If say by Saturday morning a line has changed, what would entice you to take a bet?
Oh, if I got a 6, I'd probably have to play Edmonton. Like it just 6 is a key number. Like you know, 5.5, you're in that weird range where it's like that. Like you can bet the favorite here, but
Yeah,
like here's the thing: if it's tied late, like I trust Rourke to go down and score. But that offensive line is just bad, man. Like maybe the Elks are just to play like, and we're overthinking this. Like, but it's a BC spot, but the Elks are the better team, right? Like if BC's the home team, Rourke is here. He's the starter, new coach. We got rid of
yeah.
the fresh starts. Okay, some injuries. That's another thing too. Edmonton's basically fully healthy. Like their injury report is 3 guys, and it's not nobody
There,
big.
this is the whole team. The whole team is showing up. This is the
Yeah,
Edmonton
okay,
Elks,
Mwembi's okay,
right?
but like
What we see here, and we did talk about in our futures bet that we do think, Edmonton will go through a lot of growing pains. They will be better, 5, 6, 7 weeks into the season. Um, they do have a lot of insurance policies if things go wrong. They can rely on a Cody to pop in if they need Ford to take a break, if they're just not sure he can handle it or handle the pressure. Um, to me, I look at this BC team. I just don't see the magic. They didn't show anything last year, unless Nathan Rourke is 2022 Nathan Rourke.
that he might
I'm
be.
that's the question, right? And I think the book
Yeah.
thinks that too. But I would lean Edmonton here at 5.5, but I maybe the 6 is what we want. Maybe we just wait out, and if we see the 6, that's the best bet, the best play.
Well, there's a little like more 115s and a couple of these 5.5s. Yeah, maybe we just wait. If I get a 6, I'll bet it. But as of right now, it's a pass. Like I think let's watch, see what Edmonton looks like with this new regime, see what BC looks like. See if it's the same old BC. I'm sure we can fade them next week.
Yeah,
Because they could be
well,
the same old BC and they win by 7, and then it's like, okay, well then
I can
next
tell
week
you this:
when they're playing the Winnipeg and on a short
if we're
week
doing
with
if we're
travel.
doing any if we're doing any look aheads to week 2, FanDuel does have already the number up, and they have Winnipeg as dogs at home with Strevler at the helm. Don't forget, 2.5 there against BC.
Yeah, but we might get 3 if BC goes out here and Edmonton does some elking, and
yeah,
I could see it.
They also opened up the Calgary Toronto line at 5.5. Montreal Red Blacks at 1.5, and then the Ticats are dogs at home as well against the Rough Riders at 2.5, which probably makes sense. Actually, probably should be a little higher in my opinion, but maybe we see a different Tiger Cats team, and maybe the offseason acquisitions are what we wanted to see, new GM and all that stuff. Let's
sometimes I do play the look aheads, but week 1 you see a lot. So I'd wait, learn, see what's going on.
Yeah, it's just the start of the year. So let's pull up the show bets, and then maybe we can pick a best bet here to wrap up. So I have a couple of elements here. I do need to edit them, but right now let's just go through the line. In the Ottawa Saskatchewan game, we talked about betting the under in that game, 49.5. Again, both these teams are going to play very cautiously. We're going to see an interesting kickoff game. It's going to be exciting. Both teams don't want to lose. One team more than the other. I think it'll be a bit of a coaching battle. We'll see if Bob Dice is really up to par with Corey Mace this season. Maybe yes, no, who knows? We have an experience. Both teams are relatively experienced. Then we kind of flip over on Friday to the Toronto-Montreal game. Toronto has got the Arbuckle price tag right now with the +4.5 on the spread. Repeat of the East Division final. Maybe you have a little bit of that revenge from Montreal. Maybe they do win it, but they win it close. We know that there's a lot of injury concerns with Montreal right now. lot of questions around who's running the ball, period, in Montreal. And in
Stevie
Toronto,
Scott the third.
you
Stevie
know, you
Scott the
got
third.
up
Touchdown
third.
prop. I don't know what it is.
Who knows? Maybe it might be worth it. Who knows? And then we were splitting a full unit here between the spread and the money line. 2/3 on the spread, third on the money line. Then we shift over to the West when we go and see the Ticats the Stampeders host the Ticats. I was on board with the Stamps. Then you told me what Dave Dickinson thinks about their secondary unit. He doesn't know what the fuck he has in front of him. Question marks probably on his notepad. Maybe good, maybe bad. I don't know. So we're gonna stick with the team that kind of knows what they're doing. They have a year under Scott. They have a lot of the guys they've retained, a better GM at the helm, a lot of experience in the guys they brought in the sense that they have cohesion. They've worked together. So it's not like a bunch of not understanding who's who, not too many new pieces that are going to change the dynamics. And we like the over and the money line there. And we'll see if Calgary surprises.
You have the Calgary money line.
I have the Calgary money
we're
line.
split on that one. And I have the Hamilton money line. So maybe I'm
who knows.
Maybe I'm wearing the yellow goggles. Maybe your bet will come. But
we'll see. I mean, look, for me, I'm going with the history of just the two organizations.
Yeah,
week ones. I'm playing what we've seen recently. I'm betting on Vernon Adams to have a Vernon Adams type of game where he just dominates himself. But then again, Hamilton does have weapons. They have a lot of weapons. They have Bo, who's motivated. But after that benching, a completely different quarterback in Hamilton. Completely different. Maybe he should have benched them earlier in the season and playoffs. Who knows?
I think sometimes it helps just to sit back and watch, and it's like, oh, how did I get benched over this guy? Like Taylor Powell, he's okay, but he's not Bo. I mean, like it's not even close right now. Anyways, maybe in a few years he'll be a top tier quarterback, but Taylor Powell ain't it right now. So
yeah, for sure. And so we even talked about maybe sprinkling something on Lawler props.
Oh yeah, I'll have some Lawler props. I'll have touchdown, yards.
Yeah,
split up probably.
Yeah, that's your sort of early evening Saturday game, and then we have our main event Canadian quarterback showdown, Edmonton BC Lions. Right now, we're just gonna watch. We're going to watch. We're going to let the Elks decide if we want to bet them next, ride them to start the season. Or are we going to believe in this Lions team, a.k.a. Nathan Rourke? Are you back? Are you back? Question mark. If he is, this might be a team to watch. Who knows? I mean, it's a interesting division where, aside from Saskatchewan, that West can be 2 through 5. Well, 2 through 4. I'm putting Stamps at the bottom. Is going to be a wishy-wash. Could be Winnipeg, could be BC, could be Edmonton. Those three guys are going to be battling. They're going to try to avoid any East crossover. If that happens, oh Lord, the CFL is going to have issues. If the East goes into the West.
And with that BC game, like I have futures on Edmonton to do well. I have futures on BC under. So I mean, I chalked this up already. Like when I did my stuff, I like, okay, BC probably does take this game because of the spot, but you never know. And if you really need some action, FanDuel, you can bet on the first song Snoop Dogg's going to sing. So
yeah,
if you really need action, there's.
What song is it going to be, Mike? Which one?
Oh, I don't know. I'd probably just take the favorites. What was the first one at the Super Bowl? Wasn't it the next episode?
It was the next episode.
Yeah, so it's probably just run it back. I mean, they're probably only taking like $25 at most on that, maybe 50.
Yeah. Do we have any specials on FanDuel comes CFL? Sometimes they offer up a couple of benefits there. Sports Interaction still gives you a lot of good numbers. They're a bit different and a little competitive. And I think it's just a book trying to get into the sport itself, getting to learn. So if you do have either or, I mean, we're talking Ontario sport books right now. I believe all these sport books that we've shown are across Canada, legal in all those provinces. If not, I mean,
Well,
hopefully you find one that is.
yeah, I think Ontario's and Alberta are the only two
That I know
right
Saskatchewan's
now.
good. Well,
Oh,
Saskatchewan's got a few.
Saskatchewan's now too. Okay.
Yeah. Well, or can you not bet in Winnipeg? Well, that would be news to me.
Well, I like you can bet, but I think it has to be like their provincial like I know Play Alberta was like monopolized for a bit.
That's true.
I'm not really too familiar outside of Ontario, so I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Fair enough. And if you are in Ontario and you're, over the age of, I don't know, 65 and you want to
18.
play pro line.
Oh,
I'm talking about pro line. If you
oh
want to
yeah, yeah. They have a
Proline.
book too, Proline Plus.
They
Yeah,
got a book. You could still go check those out.
I took
don't
those
really
guys
know
to. I took those guys to the woodshed on CFL for a while too.
Yeah. They tend
Uh,
to.
so
We'll be playing those for a bit. Let me see. Let me just entertain ourselves. What are the numbers? 3-5, 4-5, 1.5, 5-5, a plus 210 for the Edmonton Elks. Money line there, 170 for the Argos. Oh
yeah,
wow, a 47.5, 53.5 for the Hamilton Calgary
yeah,
game.
it's going up.
Sort of juice a bit there. But yeah, I guess if you're gonna be playing pro line or you like the old school style of filling in the bubbles, go ahead, man. Have fun. That's all that matters. Play within your means. All right,
Yeah,
Pie Guy.
always.
We're at the hour mark. We've covered our pieces here. Week 1 bets there. We have to pick a best bet. That is our end goal here. Let me bring them back up.
Oh,
Do you have a
I
best
already
bet?
know what it is.
Tell
Yeah,
me.
I figured it out about halfway through, and I'm looking at these injuries, and I'm thinking, and you like Calgary, and I was like, yeah, this feels like there could be like 80 points, so over 52.5. I've heard that probably has a good game too, and I'm fairly confident the Ticats will have a good, or like at least a decent offensive game, even if they're down like 24 early. Which I'm never shocked with this team. With Bo throwing pick sixes. Usually if he has a bad game, it ends up with points anyway. So over 52.5. Get bet it soon. That is the show best bet.
It's going to be changing. The Hamilton folks and the crowd, they're going to be coming in Friday night, maybe even tomorrow once they start seeing CFL on their TV. They are going to bet this one. High profile QBs, definitely going to be a high yardage show between the two. Get in. Get quick, get that 52.5. It's going to be probably at kickoff.
It's high.
It might be.
Yeah, it's high, but it's high for a reason. Like,
well, listen, it's going to be a 33-28 game, maybe.
yeah, exactly. So if the Ticats get to 30, you only need Calgary at 23. Like, I feel like that's a pretty fair thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So vice versa. If you like Calgary, you probably like Calgary to score. Well, if Calgary gets to 30, only the Ticats get 23 against that awful defense too. So I think we're going to get there.
I agree. All right, Pie Guy. With that, we'll conclude week 1's bets here on Rants from Rouges. So episode 2 in the books. We'll be back again next week. I believe it'll be Wednesday as well. Around 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 Pacific time, if we're going to be specific. So we'll see you guys then. Yep, 8 Mountain. That's right. Or is there some daylight savings? I don't know. Sometimes it changes. Listen,
I think that's only Arizona, but yeah.
No, there's something with Saskatchewan's time zone too. They got like some special. Sometimes they're in with another group. Sometimes they're with this group. I don't know. Listen, don't come at me. All right. I love you guys in the prairies. I promise.
Oh yeah, yes. Rough Rider fans are great.
They are. They're fantastic. All right, well, folks. With that, we'll bid you adieu. We'll see you next week. Ciao.
Goodbye.